crypto asset? Which one's the best crypto asset? Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Which one's the best? 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 What's the second best?
This is Discover Crypto. I'm your host, DZ. Please smash a like on your way in. Every day on this channel, we teach you how to make money with crypto. We got to talk about some major stuff. The altcoins are soaring. Is this alt season? We're going to talk about what happened on the House of Representatives with that crypto bill and what does the rest of the week look like. We got major news for XRP holders. You might not be bullish enough. I'm kicking out all the XRP bears. That's why you're not going to see Josh today, but I am joined by TJ. TJ, how are you doing today?
Well, I thought you were kicking out all the XRP bears.
Oh, that's right.
No, I'm kidding. I'm not a bear. I've always said I love to see you guys make money with XRP. Happy to see it go to 589. Just don't think it's going to $500, which is fine. But
yeah,
no,
I don't think it's going to $589. We've been saying 589, like with a period after the 5, very, very doable this cycle. And now it's looking more and more likely. And we're going to talk about that. Also have some Cardano news, and we have to throw a politician under the bus because they're trying to put a stranglehold on the crypto industry here. But let's look at Bitcoin on the 1-minute chart here, just see kind of what's happening. Looks like we got a nice little bounce here right around 945. Bitcoin, though, once you zoom out, still got a little bit of room. Now, I'm seeing some people, say maybe a little bit of a crooked head and shoulders. I wouldn't say I see that just quite yet, but Bitcoin, looking at the RSI on the 1 hour, we did hit deep into the oversold. We didn't hit that blue line, which is the previous oversolds on the 1 hour, but Bitcoin getting some strong strength here. And so starting to show a little bit of resilience, but it's the altcoins, everybody. It's the altcoins that are just crushing everything. We hit refresh here because ETH is now up 5.9%. How about that 10% pump for XRP? They said $190 billion market cap. It can't pump 10%. XRP says, sit down, hold my beer. Dogecoin is up 6%. We have Cardano up 6.5%. Solana up 4.5%. But I think Curve DAO kind of crushing it. And Floki did not have Floki as the biggest gainer on my bingo card today, TJ.
No, but I'm not surprised to see some alts. I mean, Floki's always been, memes, I meant to say. Floki's always been one of those ones that does seem to do well in meme coin season. And really what we're seeing is ETH. That's an ETH meme, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of times we've been seeing a lot of the Solana stuff with Pump.fun and Bonk and all that, but seeing Pepe, I probably wouldn't be surprised if it's doing well right now. There's Dogecoin right there. Some of those Ethereum based
Fart coin. I told everybody I'm swapping all my Shiba Inu into Fart, and I feel pretty good about that. I feel pretty good. I don't even see Shiba Inu in the top gainers here. We keep scrolling. I mean, it's interesting just seeing Ethereum so high. Near protocol looking pretty good. It's up about 5% today. And let's go. I mean, what's actually down today? Is there any? Oh, real quick. I almost missed Ondo.
Hey.
Josh is kicking and screaming. He's not on the stream right now, so he could tell you about Ondo. But Ondo, obviously, one of our favorite altcoins. And I have a base ecosystem play for you that everybody, I'm going to give you the base blueprint for success and tell you why the base ecosystem's about to pump. Big news out of Coinbase.
Yeah, and speaking of the base ecosystem, Coinbase, I did want to give a shout out. They started that event yesterday, and we were seeing a lot more of these from our members. Johnny December, who I know is in here, I saw him earlier in the stream saying, Arrow is crushing it. Thanks for the early heads up and continue info. Discover, Disco fam. We picked that one super early. We went out basically as soon as you could possibly get it and said,
it looks like me and you there.
It kind of does. Maybe me and you in another timeline. And then we've also got a lot of wins in the Discord from people making gains on those trades with following Josh, following Drew, and the Discover Crypto fam. So if you guys aren't in there, get in there. We've got all kinds of early alpha, but love seeing the posts and the comments from you guys telling us that you enjoy it and what you get. So if you want to do that in the future, tag us if you're up on something good that we told you about, and I'll share it. Thanks for
right now. Looking at the big losers, I feel pretty good. We had a super chat yesterday. They says say. What do I do with my say? And I said sell your say for SWE is what I say. And if we look, one of the big losers today is say. So hopefully that Disco fan member listen there. Pingu, little overheated, now down 5%, but it's up 60% for the week. So it is not feeling bad at all. And Pump.fun. We're We're going to talk about that one as well later on in the show. I got a hot take on Pump.fun.
I've got some thoughts there too. Also, just wanted to mention Ty's a big hit. Everybody's loving the tie.
People like the tie. I've been kind of looking. Yeah, nice suit, sir. Yeah,
they're asking you to have their babies. They're saying you're taking Jerome Powell's job. You know, like it's a hit. I'm into it.
Donald, I can't take the job just yet.
Yeah.
He's going to be in there till May 2026. I know. No, the Democrats will be seething. We can't do it. All right, I'll talk to you later. All right, that's just a buddy of mine. Call him the Orange Man anyways. But yeah, speaking of ETH, make sure you watch last night's video. Josh put out a $15,000 ETH. Is it possible? And he has his baseline prediction for like a bearish case and his where he's going to put, this is where he thinks is going to be heading. But, what do you think about a 15K? That's
I think it's in the
cards.
Like
it's a number we were afraid to say 6 months ago.
Yeah, people thought I was insane for saying 8K not that long ago, but I think 15K is 100% in the cards. When we see, it's not saying it's guaranteed. Obviously, not saying it's even highly likely, but I'd put it in a 15-20% chance we see those kind of numbers. With the Ethereum treasury companies we're seeing now accumulating. I mean, I was shocked. ETH actually had more 24-hour volume than Bitcoin did yesterday. We're seeing, again, Tom Lee, Joseph Lubin. I think what we're going to see with the money printing, people underestimated the impact of inflation. Like even the fact that Bitcoin right now sitting around a 118K is it's approximately 70K in 2021 terms when you incorporate inflation. Like, that to me is the stark reminder that most of our price predictions were probably far too low, and that these things, when they move, they're going to move really, really quickly. Ethereum, we've just had an incredible gain on, and this is something else I forget. I wanted to mention on today's stream. We did a portfolio review in the Discord yesterday with one of our members. He'd only been in crypto for 2 months, and sometimes I forget that people, that there's new people coming into this all the time because we've been doing this for so long. So, I remember screaming about buying Ethereum when it was, in those $2,000 ranges, even lower, saying like, now's the time. Do not give up on ETH. Do not give up on ETH. Everybody was flooding it. Everybody was saying it's a dead chain. It's not going to recover. And I was saying now is the best time. Don't sell. But it didn't even cross my mind to tell people that are new here that this is a really good time to buy it if you're getting a chance to buy Ethereum for the very first time at $2,000 a few months ago, like that was a lifetime kind of opportunity. That didn't even cross my mind to suggest that. So I see a lot of new people that maybe passed on ETH because when they came in, Solana was getting a lot of hot attention, or Ondo, or some of these other things. Ethereum hasn't even hit its new all-time high. I think, 15K is in the cards.
Yeah, Cardano's way down. I mean, XRP's flirting with it. Solana's flirting with it. But yeah, we got a lot of altcoins. I mean, we got the H-bars, the chain links, the Aves. There's a lot of altcoins still set for a huge, huge pump. A lot of people, asking, why am I wearing the tie? I just don't want to dress like a slob. I normally try to throw the jacket on at least over the V-neck, the black V-neck, but we'll do the button up. It just looks better.
Yeah, he's been slowly upgrading. Come on.
I'm slowly evolving like a Charizard.
Right. DZ's about to hit all-time highs too. And then watch out for that breakout. We're going into price discovery.
I'm only in Carmeleon form. You're not even ready for Charizard, folks. We might hit that later on. Shout out to the Firestone.
I am liking the Agent 47 though. It's gonna be hard for me to get that out of my head.
Yeah, it makes me want to walk like the GTA characters.
Yeah.
Where you like walk into a wall and stuff. So maybe I'll just be stationary moving.
You're Agent 47 in the Disney remake of Hitman.
There we go. I'm not tan enough. I need to be a lot more tan for that one. All right, now we have a live representation of altcoins. This is a Chinese building, and I don't know if they thought this one through all the way there, TJ. I just want to throw that out there. But let's
maybe
talk
they
about,
did.
maybe. Oh man, I guess we'll see with their humanoid robots what they end up resembling. All right, now let's talk about Ollie Charts' XRP predictions. We're gonna do a couple XRP stories here and talk about some XRP price predictions. This is a very interesting one. He's talking about the MVRV ratio. It just flashed a golden cross. Last time this happened, XRP soared 630%. This MVRV signal just appeared again, and the signal is looking at a short-term moving average on the MVRV, crossing over the moving average for the 200-day. You can see the 200 right there. And so when the short-term moving average shot above the 200, that gave us that magnificent pump right there. That was essentially the Trump pump. And now we're seeing the same signal as we speak. So we might be seeing huge, huge pumps for XRP. And some analysts are saying Trump's about to flip the switch. He's about to say, let there be light if you're an XRP holder. And it's just two main things we're talking about. This is Crypto Crusaders. He argued that President Trump poised to trigger significant shift in the financial landscape, and this is going to heavily favor XRP. This is, quoting that New York Times piece suggesting that Trump had plans to remove federal chair Jerome Powell. Now, Trump denied the story shortly after its release, but added Powell currently under investigation. Now, we don't know where that investigation is going to go. Maybe it's going to be a nothing burger. Maybe something can happen. We don't know yet. But Trump cannot directly fire Powell without cause. But the president would have faced a similar situation with Gary Gensler, but Gensler chose to resign. Powell, on the other hand, said he would resist any attempt by the Trump administration to remove him before the end of his tenure in May 2026. Now, he warned of the second thing pumping the Trump switch here, warned of the long-term devaluation of the U.S. dollar, citing a dramatic drop in purchasing power from 50 to 1925. A dollar would be 7 cents and 1950 equivalent there. That was an interesting metric that I want to share. He argued that the environment drives investors towards alternatives like XRP, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. Some experts say XRP can kickstart the biggest monetary reset in history as the dollar declines. To me, that title firmly goes to Bitcoin. That would be my main disagreement here, though. What do you feel about that? A lot of people do think XRP is going to upend the entire banking system. What are your thoughts on that statement, TJ?
Let me see. I mean, let me see it. I haven't really seen much there yet. I've
How
heard
about
a lot
XRP versus Chainlink trying to upend the entire financial system?
I guess upend is a big word. Maybe
it is.
Update,
it's a vague,
update maybe, but yeah, Chainlink is definitely going to be integral for where the financial system's going. Ethereum is going to be, that was one thing that was interesting to me, that with the base transactions getting a faster finality and speed than the stock market, I could see it going there. So people say I hate on XRP. I really don't. Like I said, if you're an XRP holder, I have no qualms with you. I just have heard a lot of talk out of Ripple, a lot of marketing since I've been here for a long time.
It's the vocal minority that's like screaming about a $500 XRP, huh?
No, that doesn't even really bother me. Like I understand why they think what they think, and I'm not going to necessarily change that. That's up to them. But it's really, I've been here since 2017, and I've been hearing the same talking points from Ripple for almost a decade now, with very little actual substance behind what's happening. Yeah, you can say Brad Garlinghouse went to the White House. Great. I do think they're positioned to have some impact. I do think obviously they've stayed at number 3 a very long time, and they've got a lot of money, they've got a lot of influence. And so if you want to bet on Ripple as a company and their leadership, they're kind of backing off the IPO a little bit, that's okay. But to say that the token has fulfilled what they've projected is just not true. And if they were held to the type of standard that any other chain seems to get held to, they just haven't delivered. But I wanted to come back to this. Kenneth the Groot with the super chat here said his spot bag went from 8K to 20K because of watching this channel.
Everybody smash the like for Kenneth there.
Yeah, we love to hear that, Kenneth. Those are the type of stuff that's why we do
Go
this.
Back to pull that comment up again if you can.
Yeah.
His PFP looks like an alien avocado.
Hold on one second. I gotta go back.
An alien avocado PFP.
All right, I see.
Or is it just an all-seeing eye? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, black hole. I don't know.
Maybe he's deep in Fartcoin. All right, let's talk about XRP's price here, though. I have something. It's a little bit of a warning for the people trying to short XRP. There's a lot of people looking at the RSI on the 4-hour, saying, all right, it's obviously overcooled or overheated there. Starting to see a little bit of bearish divergence. We're getting higher highs on the price while the RSI created a lower high. And we have a new 4-hour candle printing in 1 hour and 4 minutes. We can already see a little bit of a curvature there. So probably going to have the RSI declining here. But what does our XRP look like when we get these bearish divergences on the 4-hour? So I went back and let's just test 2. And so the last time it happened, a lot of traders are seeing what happened right here. All right, we're getting lower highs on the RSI. XRP then proceeded to do basically a dump. I mean, it fell 22%. It fell 13% in 3 days. So, if you shorted here, you did great. If you shorted from the wick, you're in negative for a little bit. But let me give you a warning, people who want to bet against XRP. The previous time did not turn out well for the bears. You can see it right here. We got overheated RSI. Oh, do we short here? Maybe. And then we get a little bit of some bearish divergence. So what happens? We'll throw the vertical line up. All right, this is the short. Ended up playing pretty well. I've seen something similar here. Knock on it once, knock on it twice, knock on it 3 times. We end up kind of declining. This was knock once, knock twice, knock 3, knock 4 times. And right now we've only knocked 3 times. So we might do a 4th leg, and then maybe it'll head to the downsides. Just be careful betting against XRP. TJ, would you short XRP?
No, that was what I was just saying. I won't buy it necessarily, hold it spot, but I definitely wouldn't short it.
That is what people will say. Well, short it then.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to short it. I'll just buy something else. And like I said, I'm not against. I want everybody holding XRP to make a lot of money, and I'm going to be very excited when you do. And I've known people that have made a ton of money with XRP, and more power to them. And it brought a lot of people to the space. I don't have any qualms with XRP. I really hope it does well.
And also RSI on the daily can stay oversold. The recent breakout strikes a bearing resemblance to the Trump pump in 24. Then it hit overbought on the RSI. It remained elevated for several weeks. So just be careful betting against the XRP bulls. They're a little more, I'm going to say it, they're more irrational. They can be more irrational than you can be solvent, folks. So don't bet against them. Now, this is, let's talk about XRP versus BTC. People are saying, oh, you've been crapping on XRP. Well, one thing I've not really crapped on is the XRP BTC chart. It's actually one of the best charts in crypto. XRP BTC looks pretty good, and Tron BTC looks pretty good for better or worse here. But Don Alt, pretty good trader. He's known for predicting the 500% pump last year. He posted his latest XRP BTC setup with a brief description that perfectly summarizes the situation. No, not this post. Bro, what the F is this? That's not what they're talking about. But back in November 24, it was 70 cents when he first shared his long-term roadmap. It showed 3 clear levels: $1.20, $2.90, $6.90. May have sounded crazy at the time when it was, but then it hit $2.93. 2 levels cleared, 1 to go. So he predicted the 290 by 3 pennies. Now he's saying the next one's going to be 690. Now for the XRP BTC pair, we're looking at 4058, 58 Satoshis for 1 XRP. This is something not seen in 7 years since 2018. Let's go to the charts.
It has been doing well against BTC.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, it has. Now we're looking at the daily chart here. Yeah, I mean, when you zoom out.
Well, yeah, recently. This was a maniacal period here. Everything from this, August to January 2018, August 17. Basically, every strong altcoin that's still around has these insane spikes that may not be breached again. Bitcoin was trading the tail end of January about $15,000. So, a little bit different environment here. But he's pointing out this, the 4 zeros, the 5,800 Satoshis, mind you. Is this an important level? So he's saying this is the next range for XRP to hit. I did point out, we are going to have a little short-term resistance here. If you're wondering what that chart is, that's just measuring the tops. I think people are definitely going to be looking at the peaks there. But let's go back to this turquoise line. So this is Don Alt's next prediction. We go back. Okay. We see a little bit of confluence here. We see some confluence, see more confluence. And then this is the spike in March of 2017. And then we go to the first cycle, also acted as a level of resistance. And this is what I found most interesting of all, TJ. It's essentially the level the Binance XRP trading pair launched at. Say that again.
The level that Binance launched XRP BTC trading chart all the way back in 2013.
Wow.
It's essentially the level Binance started that chart.
That's interesting.
That is very interesting, isn't it? Yeah. So a lot of these altcoins like to come home. I think XRP is coming home on this Bitcoin chart.
Yeah. And Don, you said Don Alt's prediction was 690 approximately?
Yeah, his price prediction is 690.
Yeah, I think that's very reasonable. It's within, I'm saying
it was more bullish than I would have said 12 months ago.
Yeah, I'm saying 6. He's saying 690. That's a very crypto number. So I saw somebody in the chat saying, please try to hold TJ to his price prediction at $6. Like, that's fine. I please do. And if it goes over, great. If you hit 8, good for you. But I think 690, I think that's a very realistic prediction. And you should be happy with that if you're an XRP holder.
Now we got mixed reviews on the tie. Deezy, get rid of the tie, loosen up. How do you know maybe I don't have pants. We don't even know what's going on here. All right, let's talk about, is it alt season? Well, I got 3 charts saying yes with a resounding capital Y here. 3 charts are screaming it's altcoin season as Bitcoin dominance hit 8-week lows. That we're not too worried about the 8-week lows, but this is Jelly highlighting a breakout from highly bullish continuation cup and handle setup. This is total 3 USD. It's going to be everything excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now let's go ahead and look at it. This is the cup and handle total 3 right here. So if you type in total 3, see crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin and ETH. This is priced in dollars. We do have a technical target. Now this is going to be moon. I don't even want to do it because it's a log chart here, but this is a very, very bullish setup. And people are saying we have broken out of the handle. I don't like to celebrate until we break above the cup, the top of the cup line, the neckline here, and then maybe break above, do one retest to the downside, and then get a couple really green daily candles. That's when I'm going to turn bullish. We might range in this area.
What? That's total 3 you're looking at?
Total 3. This is the cumulative value of everything excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Nice. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, I think we're basically in alt season. I mean, we've been given the signs. I agree with what you're saying. We could get a negative thing that knocks us back down and lets us range a little bit more. But we're seeing breakdown on Bitcoin dominance as well. Yeah, it's looking really good. It's Peter Brandt is coming out saying it's alt season and posting stuff like this, and we're seeing insane stuff on Bitcoin gold chart. Like the TA, the TA is actually. It's screaming far more bullish than people were on the macro level not that long ago. Like some of the numbers that I was saying that people thought were crazy, now all of a sudden the charts are all starting to say, hey, 200, 280 Bitcoin, that doesn't even sound out of the cards. It's crazy.
All right, we got Sir here. Dunk Kong's out today. Your timing is perfect. Ignore the noise. Look at sharp, bro. Appreciate.
That's right.
Thank you very, very much. Now I'm going to walk around a little extra pep in my step, thanks to you. All right, now a break above the neckline is going to, at the $1.1 trillion mark, could push it up 100% to 198 trillion. They've broken out of the multi-year cup and handle, the trader said. One last hurdle to overcome, but once it clears, everything goes nuts. I would agree with that assessment. We also have a total 3 BTC on the daily. So this is going to be not denominated in dollars, denominated in Bitcoin. And we're breaking out of the downtrend. This is similar to what you see with Bitcoin dominance. And then speaking of Bitcoin dominance on the daily, this thing is falling off a cliff here. Everyone's like, oh, it's going to go up forever. A lot of people calling for in the 70s. It went higher than I expected. I'll be the first to admit that. I just did not see it hitting the 70s with the amount of stable coins in the ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at the daily, it is starting to fall off a cliff. But let me give you a brief warning. You don't have much time. Time is running out. Time is ticking. It's like Justin Timberlake with the time running down on his wrist. You're about to run out of time, folks. And let me tell you why. When this breaks down, limited time to change your wealth, change your life, change your trajectory, change the lineage of your bloodline. Because like I said, they're going to be making oil paintings of you once I show you this. Look how quickly Bitcoin dominance falls.
Like 6 weeks, right?
Altcoins are surging. And so when we get these very, very quick moves to the downside, you have limited time to change your life. And that's why you got to be locked in. That's why you got to be following this channel. That's why you got to hit that sub button. Got to make sure you're in the Disco fam, because we're printing over here, folks. And we keep steadily predicting the biggest gainer the next day. If I just moved my entire port into one coin a day, TJ, I'd be a millionaire. But that's so risky. I wouldn't do that. Plus, then I'd have to sell my ADA, and I don't want to do that. Now, let's talk about OTC trending to the downside. Over the counter, OTC desks are draining not enough Bitcoin, and it actually looks even worse when you're looking at Ethereum there. So this is just a nice little metric here, way below where we were in 2015 when there's a lot less Bitcoin. Remember, Bitcoin's being created every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So this is a very, very bullish.
That one got me. I'm sorry.
That's good. That's good. No more Temu Tate. No more Walmart Tate. Yeah, no more Temu Tate. I'm Amazon Tate.
Now. Yeah, your Target Tate.
Target Tate.
Yeah.
Target.
Yeah.
Now this is another.
Hold on, real quick. Go back to that chart. I did want to say something about the OTC desk stuff. That is very interesting to me. We're seeing it with both Bitcoin and Ethereum. I've just out of my own curiosity, I'm going to call the OTC desk that I've used in the past and just see. I'm going to say, hey, if I had somebody that wanted to place a very large order, what would that look like? How hard would it? How quickly could we fill a multi-million-dollar order and just see what the response is? I'll let you guys know what I hear back.
You had a lump of cash now. What would you put it into? Probably choose Chainlink. Because again, it's one of the ones that hasn't, like Curve is pumping today. That's a good chance that Chainlink will pump tomorrow.
Yeah, Curve and Chainlink both benefit from the legislation that's going on up in Washington for Crypto Week right now. Curve very much critical when it comes to stable coins. A lot of the stablecoin issuance
Andy says Ondo. I don't hate Ondo, but you saw it was one of the biggest gainers today. So, maybe look for Link to be a big gainer tomorrow. Let's see. Link, Ondo. You want to throw one more here?
Yeah, I got a couple more because I was doing this with some people in the Discord last night. As far as coins that haven't quite started to move too much yet, check this one out. I mean, not that this is an obscure coin.
Sweet or Link? I'd have to do 50-50, maybe Link.
So check this chart out. This is the weekly on Solana.
Yeah, Solana was 290.
Yeah, Solana has not moved yet, and it could very quickly make a move to $500. It's under $200 right now. These are weekly candles breaking out, and I think jumping.
That looks great.
Yeah, that looks sexy for a short-term time period. And then Avalanche is another one that I think is strong that hasn't had a pump yet.
We were looking at the AVAX ETH charts 1 or 2 weeks ago, and that thing is poised for a breakout soon. So,
and our latest, if you want a low cap, if you want to be a little bit riskier, our latest one we've been playing with lately, especially on the DeFi side, is a Black Hole, which is the arrow of Avalanche, is basically the way I describe it.
I shared a Cardano AI coin farm roll yesterday. It's up 30% today.
Ooh,
I did a post. Unfortunately, it was in one of my replies, so I don't know if a lot of people saw my my call there. I was just saying CNTs, Cardano native tokens, are about to explode. So I was like, well, which ones do you like? Roll, Iagon, they're both way up today. And Snake, of course, you can see the Snake drinks right there. And I even got those that's the OG.
OG.
What are they called? Those the edition 1 first run, first print.
I don't know.
I don't remember. It's
you're the magic guy. You should know
Action
all that.
Comics #1. It's Detective Comics number 27. All right. Now Bitcoin. This is a very, very good Bitcoin chart. Let's talk about Bitcoin for a second here. Bitcoin back above the channel midpoint. How close to the channel highs can we get? So this is actually the 2017 peak, 2021 peak. Let's go into the chart here. They're looking at this right here. This is actually more respective of this midline than I would have initially thought so. If you look right here, acted as support, acted as support, acted as resistance, acted as resistance. You can see here on the weekly charts, took weeks to go above this midpoint line. In fact, let's kind of stretch it out. 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. On the 5th week, it broke above. Then you can see here, took a couple weeks to break down below. We knocked on the door 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. The door closed in our face. We knocked on the door some more. Oh, we started to feel good like the Kool-Aid man. Someone was saying, oh, yeah. This was the Trump pump. And then we started a tariff war. Everything started to move to the downside. Thanks, Orange Man. And now we're knocking on the midpoint again. You can see one pump, one knock, 2 knocks. Are we going to pull the Heisenberg and say we are the ones that are knocking right now? And I actually didn't even know we had this prop ready right here. Oh yeah. I just broke your computer screen. Your computer screen is cracked now, and you can blame. Does this guy got a name? Is he just the Kool-Aid man?
I don't know. The Kool-Aid man. Oh yeah.
Ralph? What's his name?
I don't know. He's just busting through. You saw the trend lately that kids, this was like a couple months ago, were getting busted because it became a trend to start running through fences because of those. They saw those old ads back in the day.
I do kind of remember that. Yeah.
And so it was like 6 months ago, kids were just running through their neighbors' fences.
Yeah. I feel like when I grew up, I'm born in the 80s, so early 90s, I'm like in elementary school. I don't think a 4th grader could burst through a fence, but kids these days, they're little chonkers.
Yeah. There's a lot more hormones out there. We got big kids these days.
Man, they're full of Big Macs. I don't even know what kind of cow hormones are in that thing. The kids got udders, they're mooing and stuff. They're yelling at the teacher saying you're for the streets. I don't know what the heck's wrong with kids these days.
Udders. That got me.
There's 6 of them. It goes down it's like an ant's thorax.
Wow.
I haven't said thorax in a while. How often do you get to say the word thorax?
Not very often.
Not very often. That's why you're in the Disco Fan. We try to expand your vocabulary. All right, let's talk about Bitcoin, and let's expand our portfolio, everybody, because Bitcoin, this is our next speed bump, if you will, here. We could definitely knock through this, but this might be a good selling event. It might only rise 25% and the metric short-term holder profit taking. And so this is Bitcoin continues to show resilience near all-time highs, but new data suggests there may still be that little bit of room. This is from crypto quant contributor Dark Frost. What video game is he best at, TJ?
Dark Frost. What's the? Definitely a turn-based
like an MMORPG.
Yeah, turn-based game.
Like Diablo.
Yeah, I'm spacing on the one that they had like 9 of them, like 12 of them. What's the one that they make a new one every year?
World of Warcraft?
No. It's like a classic game, turn-based. There's a bazillion. Final Fantasy.
Is it?
Maybe.
I don't know. Tactics hat. Yeah. Like the turn-based. Yeah, it could be a little Final Fantasy. All right. Final Fantasy, Mortal Kombat, Dark Frost. All right. Well, according to crypto quant contributor here, investors who purchased Bitcoin in the past few months, well, they're referred to as the short-term holders. And so we're looking at their MVRV ratio. This looks at the market price of Bitcoin compared to the average price paid by the holder, so the last price that it traded at. And it's used to gauge how much profit they're sitting on. Now, historically, when unrealized profit, that just means they're in the green, but they haven't sold. When the unrealized profit of the short-term holders climbs to 35%, typically it leads to selling. In past cycle, this threshold lines up with the reading. Well, you can guess it if it's up 35%, a reading of 1.35. Now, currently, we're only at 1.15. So in simpler terms, short-term holders not yet sitting at the profit trigger at 135. And so we might have a little bit of room to increase about 25% before we hit the tipping point. And so just a little metric right there. Should we just go up 25%? Let's see what that's going to look like here. We're going to do 20 to 25% pump. That's going to give us, oh, wow, we're on log, aren't we? 20 gives us, God, it is that expensive. $145,000 Bitcoin. 25 is going to give us $150,000 Bitcoin. So we might go to unseen heights before these short-term holders start taking profit. God, who would have thought 20% pump? Yeah, it's $145,000 Bitcoin. Doesn't even seem real to me.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I think there's a lot of people saying $150,000 Bitcoin before the end of August.
That would be magnificent.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love to see that. What do you think Cardano's at in this environment? I'll just take $1 at this point.
Yeah, I mean, but if you're talking about $150,000 Bitcoin, yeah, I think it'll be over $1 because that's what's interesting is the alts really move when Bitcoin settles. So it kind of depends.
Yes.
Like if a Bitcoin moves aggressively to 150,000, you're probably you're maybe $1 on Cardano, maybe a little bit over. But if it stair steps and hangs out at 135 for a while, 145 for a while, and lets Cardano make up some ground in the meantime, you could be pushing $2 by then. I mean, I do think when Cardano breaks, what is it, $1? There's a couple of resistances. I think it's $1.20-ish. Once it gets over that, it can move back towards.
Yeah, and it's like that 120, 122 range, I think, has something.
It can move back towards all-time highs really, really quick and be very similar to what XRP has been doing. And once it gets back into that discovery phase and making up ground on BTC, it's gonna be fun. You guys know we hold a lot of Cardano here.
Back in the discovery phase, you did a lot of that last 2 years, huh, TJ?
Yeah, a lot of discovery. That was good. Yeah,
we're not gonna expand on that.
Yeah, exactly.
Moving on. Let's talk about the legislation brouhaha that happened last night. They're voting into the wee hours. Crypto Week, though, is now back on track after the lengthy House do-over vote. Now, lawmakers cleared a hurdle to move on to final votes on some key legislation late last night after failing to do so on Tuesday. So this vote went on for 9 hours, almost 10, and saw a handful of Republicans vote no until securing an agreement to have an attachment for anti-CBD provision here. A final vote for the stablecoin legislation may take place as soon as today, and this is going to be on Trump's desk shortly after. And so this is members. Here's the people. Or kind of, I don't want to say hold things up, but members of the House Freedom Caucus leveraged their votes to force an anti-CBDC bill to be tied to the National Defense Authorization Act, a must-pass bill that both chambers of Congress, House and Senate, vote on every year. So they inserted it into one of those must-pass bills, essentially, that allows a lot of military spending. Now, later on, the House is going to vote on the Genius Act today, and if it passes, it goes to Trump's desk for a senator. And the Clarity vote, or the Clarity Act, may receive a vote next week, according to Punchbowl News. So that's our latest update. But we got some representatives out there. They're talking a lot of smack. They're talking a lot of noise. They're talking a lot of lies to their constituents. And I'm going to call one out specifically. Stephen Lynch, you're about to get DZ'd, and I hope you're freaking ready. Lynch joined his Democrat colleagues in denouncing cryptocurrencies and calling for a CBDC. So this U.S. Representative Stephen Lynch, this guy right here, this picture is 6 years old, by the way. I don't know what he looks like. He looks like Nancy Pelosi's colostomy bag once it's wrinkled on the floor. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, we went there. All right, moving down. All right, so Democrats characterize crypto as an outright scam in their Wednesday press conference. They push for the development and rollout of a CBDC. Let me repeat that. The Democrats pushing for a CBDC yesterday. Leading the charge, Sam Bankman-Fried's best friend, Maxine Waters. She said the anti-CBDC bill and Genius bill endanger our national security. Representative Stephen Lynch, yeah, that's right, Pelosi's wrinkled colostomy bag. He said, he also attended this event, said crypto, no legitimate use case. As a committee, we've learned there's no legitimate case for crypto as of yet, unless you count the illegal practices of every single ransomware heist that has affected U.S. businesses, which have been fueled and facilitated by cryptocurrency. It's a highly risky and volatile product that has no business in a functioning and well-regulated financial system. This entire industry is a scam. You are a scam. The dollar is a scam. What happened to you, Stephen Lynch? I went into your history. You used to represent the people. You were born in South Boston. You fought for free speech. You literally fought for free speech. Anti-hate laws, you were against them. You fought for the disenfranchised. You used to do pro bono work for the youth who were affected. Now you were just a shill. I was wondering what the heck happened to this guy. Well, we've talked about this before. I don't know if I highlighted it. He went to, later on in his schooling, guess what, folks? He also went to Harvard's Kennedy School of Business. He did that while a senator. So he went to school as a child. Then as an adult, about 20 years ago, you saw what he looks like now. He's still an old man. He enrolled in Harvard University's John F. Kennedy School of Government. This is a State Department hotbed from which he graduated in 1999. So he used to fight for the people, and now he's saying crypto is a scam. Like I said, crypto is helping the people. They're disenfranchised. People that don't have a voice. Is given a voice to the silent. It's given economic freedom to those who do not have it. And it's allowing people to flee despotic dictators. And now you're starting to feel like the dictator. You're starting to look at me. I look at you. You're basically Kim Jong-un, Stephen Lynch. You're trying to shut down Americans and you're putting your knee on my neck and I refuse it. That's all I got there. All right. Yeah. This guy, just so ridiculous. There's no use case for crypto.
Yeah. It's insane level of gaslighting, and what we're seeing out of the House and out of the people that are, like you said, people that are supposed to represent the people. I mean, I don't think it's ever been more clear that it's all a bunch of criminals up there basically lining their own pockets.
Yeah, some say he went to the island. I don't know if that's true. I don't know. But let's talk about Trump now. We got World Liberty Fi news.
But speaking of the island, let's talk about Trump.
Actually, he wrote it 7 times, did not go to the island.
I know.
Supposedly, according to the best documentation that we do have, other people like Gates and for whatever reason, Hawking, they did go there.
Yeah.
But that's
nobody cares
what
about
we
that,
know,
right? Like we're gonna move on as a country because it doesn't really matter. That's what they say.
Yeah, just move on. Did you see Shane Gillis's jokes at the ESPYs?
Yeah, that's what
good
I was
stuff
referencing.
there. Yeah, the joke was deleted. Probably deleted itself.
Yeah.
Well, let's just move on as a country.
Nobody cares. Yeah.
Yeah, we're under. It's one country under blackmail. That's the clear situation going on. But let's talk about World Liberty Fi. Speaking of blackmail, World Liberty Fi voted to make their tokens tradable in a landslide vote, and that closed on Wednesday. It was like 99.94% of the people said, yeah, we want to sell these tokens tradable. Yeah, basically, we want to be able to sell. So what are we looking at? Like 6 out of 10,000 people. Who are those people? Not all the governance tokens, though. What's the details? We don't have all the details. Not all of them will be unlocked at once, though, according to the team. And a full launch plan is coming soon. We'll give you the details for the full launch plan. But we got some of the small plans here. Now, they outlined an original proposal when they did it months ago. Part of the initial unlock, only a portion of the token sold to early supporters will be eligible to be traded. The remainder will be subjected to a second vote to determine the unlock and release schedule. This is important. Founders, team, and advisor tokens will not be unlocked. Don Jr., Eric, Barron, Donald, they're not going to sell on you. They will be subject to a longer schedule. Timing and any eligibility requirements are yet to be determined. Who's going to sell on you? Justin Sun.
Yeah.
Winklevi. Anybody else who threw in money, but not the Trump family. Now, they sold it in 2 tranches. One October 24, sold at $0.015 a piece. The next one they did 5 cents a token. So now the next question is, and the Trumps, they've reduced their stake. Now they made 57 million, I think, in 1 quarter. However, they've reduced their stake in the platform. They now only hold 40% of the company. But we started at $0.015. We then went to 5 cents. Any prediction on where's trading day one?
$0.015, 5 cents.
Nova, sometimes it's both. We're not going to throw your question up, but sometimes it's both.
I don't know. We're trading day one. I mean, it probably, I don't know. I can't really predict. I haven't really been following it good enough. I know it's pretty much closed off. I think it'll be very similar to a lot of these other things. Probably starts going down day one, opens up trading, dumps a little bit, accumulates.
Justin Sun sells, buys the dip, and then it starts ripping.
Yeah, it depends. Like somebody, obviously people want to sell, right? That's what the story's about. So when it's tradable, they will sell. Price goes down, and then it becomes an opportunity for other people, probably.
Yeah. People say I look like John Wick. Have you ever seen the viral video of the guy opening his fridge as John Wick?
No.
It's hilarious. He does like a barrel roll into his kitchen, bumps into the fridge and opens it. It's like how John Wick makes a sandwich. And when he bumped into his door so hard, he knocked everything off on the fridge. So when he opened it, just the ketchup and the pickles and everything just fell.
Yeah. That is one in our Discord. That's my favorite name of somebody in there. It's John Wicked Out. It's pretty funny. I was like, that's a good name. That's good.
John Wick's dog.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get it. No, let's not make fun of dogs. All right. Here's this. Breaking news. We did a short on it last night. We didn't get to cover it because it happened after the live stream. Trump World Liberty Fi bought more ETH. And they bought it $3,200. And as it broke above their average cost, they spent only $5 million, but they got another 1,500 ETH at 3,200 a piece there. So,
literally everybody bought ETH yesterday. I feel like that was. I mean, you saw the. Do you have anything on?
Yeah,
the
we got the inflows.
Yeah,
726 million yesterday, highest inflow ever. They're becoming increasingly bullish. I love the graphic here.
Yeah, by a lot. Highest inflow ever by a lot. I think the next closest one was like 400 or 500, so it was almost double what it was before that. So and again, the volume. ETH volume, 24-hour volume passing Bitcoin is a really big deal.
Who do I always say is the canary in the coal mine with the crypto ETFs?
The canary in the coal mine. I don't know.
It's just BlackRock.
Yeah.
So like, look at what BlackRock does is maybe more than the cumulative totals. A lot of it due to like grayscale selling, etc. But BlackRock saw its largest single day net flow. Also, they pulled in 148,000 ETH yesterday.
Wow.
How insane is that?
That is insane.
They're now up to 2.3 million ETH, $7.9 billion. So BlackRock is not stopping. They're buying more and more. And then you can look at the volumes. ETH flip Bitcoin in 24-hour volume. Also a sign of altcoin season.
And that picture isn't even when I checked it, it was like pushing ETH was pushing 60.
We can look right now.
Yeah, I'd be interested if it's turned over yet.
Tether's always number one if you're wondering. Yeah, ETH is smoking it at this point, 64 to 52.
Yeah, that's about where it was when I was looking at it last night. It's that and that
Tron's pretty low today.
If that maintain, and I don't expect that to maintain, but if it does, if that level of volume on Ethereum maintains, you expect to see some explosive action. And that's one way, guys. If you want a little, let me teach you that. That's a little hack I use a lot on CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko or whatever you're using. When you're looking at the 24-hour volume, it kind of doesn't fit as good here, but it's over here, 24-hour volume.
We can see the beat.
And you scroll down and you find something that's like, okay, so look at this perfect example. You're in this range of market cap, 2.9 billion, 2.9 billion, 2.8 billion, 2.5 billion. But look at the volume difference, 256, 19, 130, and this one's billions.
Yeah.
Bonk right now, because of what they're doing with, I don't know if it's Bonk.
Pump.fun.
No, yeah, Bonk.fun, Bonk Pump, whatever it is. It's the competitor to Pump.fun. Bonk right now is looking very, very frothy, and you can tell by the volume.
Oh, yeah, they're going to flip ICP.
Right, and so you can tell by looking at this, okay, Bonk's going to pass ICP. It's going to pass Ethereum Classic.
ETH Classic has more volume than ICP.
could pass Ondo soon. I mean, it could very quickly just right up here, and you can pick that out a lot of times by looking at the volume. And so that's that's just basically a metric for how much is it being used. Now, yeah. Any metric in crypto can be gamed. You can game volume, you can game metrics, but not to the levels of billions and billions and billions of dollars. So that to me is very good foreshadowing of what's to come for Ethereum.
Oh, I got the best foreshadowing for ETH. Bank of America, it's a Rothschild's bank, everybody. Bank of America expects to launch a crypto stablecoin on ETH, according to Reuters, also connected to that same people. But yeah, Bank of America calls Ethereum the new stablecoin rail. That's just going to be more bullishness for Ethereum. Now,
and this is another reason I'm not seeing XRP taking over. Just saying.
Yeah. This is insane if you think about it. Wintermute has 0 ETH left on their OTC desk, like literally no sellers, big buyers, institutions knocking, nothing left to sell. Is kind of supply crunch that usually triggers violent moves. In my opinion, setting up a face melting squeeze, and we're still under 4K. Feels like we're coiling everybody for a big move to the upside, and not sure if people are properly even comprehending the supply crunch that's coming with the sustained demand from Wall Street. 231,000 Ether were bought today in ETFs alone. 2,000 ETH were produced. This isn't even accounting for all the treasury companies and, of course, retail. Now, we do have I have a little hack for you here. Let's do a little learning lesson. Ultrasound.money. Ultrasound.money. You can learn about Ethereum. You can see, is it deflationary? We're looking at supply growth over the last 7 days. It is inflationary, slightly, a little above 0.5%. And if you go in from the burn or from the merge, you'll see ETH has been very deflationary at points. And right now we are inflationary, but this does look like it's about to maybe move to the downside. So,
yeah, well, especially if all these stable coins start getting used and the actual use case really gets realized, we're going to see some insane gains. But we do have almost 2,000 people just on YouTube. We've got a few thousand other places, but we hit our 420 like goal. But now you guys know 690 is the next one. And if you're watching this one later,
that's the XRP price prediction.
There you go. 690 likes. Let's go.
Smash the like if you do think it's going to exceed that, and smash the like if you just hate the XRP rally that's going to be coming. Now, ETH might have one other fuel for the cannon here. The shorts might be liquidated. And so these are people betting against Ethereum. And this is just looking at Binance here, cumulative short liquidation leverage. And so these are people just waiting to lose all their money to Binance if the price starts surging. So keep an eye out on that. Now, I looked at the MACD 3-day on Cardano yesterday. Rick McCracken, very funny guy. He's a stake pool operator there. If you want to look at a stake pool, check out the DG stake pool there. I forgot he was the senior chief, retired former ocean systems engineer at Progeny. Sounds pretty smart right there. But this is the 3-day MACD. I didn't quite have a pullover there. Maybe it's because of Heiken Ashi. Maybe it's because he was using Binance or something like that. But I saw something else in the charts that I wanted to share with everybody. The RSI has passed over on a very bullish range. Is this? Nope, that's going to be shout out to Crypto Face, Marcus Cypher. This is going to be what we're looking at right here. RSI just hit pre-oversold. I think it's on the daily. Yep, you can see it right there. So this is the RSI hitting oversold. Oh my God, Cardano's oversold. Sell everything. The bears are going to start selling because it's oversold. Hold on a freaking minute here. Go back to the last time the RSI hit this level. What happened to Cardano's price action? It kept exceeding it. You can see right there, we go straight up. Cardano would continue to pump 130%. And I was actually being very generous. I easily could have moved this to the bottom of that candle right there. But, you know, I'll be fair. I'll try to make this very neutral. Cardano pumped 130% after RSI hit oversold. If we pump 130%, you're looking at $1.82 Cardano. So Cardano, similar to XRP, can stay oversold for weeks, everybody. Now, do we have any info on the USA Marshals selling Bitcoin? Yeah, there's conflicting reports. Yeah. I tend to, Arkham hasn't updated their list there, and Arkham supposedly has, like, you know, very good team behind them, and they're like, no, you know, there's obviously more than 30,000 Bitcoin.
Yeah,
so
this is
still waiting on details here.
Yeah, this is what they put out, that the U.S. Marshals had 28,000. Obviously, the people know we're supposed to hold 200,000. to DZ's point, on-chain analytics, this guy right here, Sani, is very good, saying they clearly controlled the UTXOs for 200K, 29K BTC reported by the marshals are only forfeited coins. It's not counting the confiscated coins. So I haven't seen official
so like things still in the legal proceedings.
Yeah, it's definitions and some of that sort of stuff.
I'll say this, at 120K, you're not getting that Bitcoin back.
No, they're definitely not getting it back. But the issue we're having right now is identifying where it is and who controls it within the government. You know, if we're going to be using this to build a strategic Bitcoin reserve, the first question is like, well, where is it? And it's been very hard to get a straight answer. So the coins are out there, the keys are being controlled. But how
Mike Ben says it's the CIA just loves using it for money laundering. I don't know if that's true or not.
Hey, I don't know. Whose is it really?
You know, if you're a poppy farmer, you know, from one of the Stan countries, we're not gonna say it because I don't want to get, you know, hit us with the like button because we're getting into treacherous territory here. Oh yeah, you probably want payments in Bitcoin, don't you? I don't know if we're going to see those big Saddam Hussein piles of cash anymore moving forward here. But let's talk about the Pump token. We saw the biggest loser in the top 100. Well, here's the details. We're going to look at people who sold, people who diamond handed, and people who bought more.
Dev wallet already selling.
60% sold. TJ, give me a prediction for what percent bought. Chat, give me a prediction. 60% sold. We also have didn't sell, didn't buy, and then we have people who net buying. These are pre-sale participants. Who bought more? Give me a percentage.
Pre-sale, not ICO, right? So the pre-sale participants, 60% of them sold. You're wondering what percentage of them bought more tokens on the ICO?
Yeah, like doubling down, you know.
I mean, if they were in the pre-sale, why would they? I don't know, 5%, 10%?
Oh, you're pretty close. You're pretty close there. So citing on-chain data, there's 10,000 ICO participants. 6,000, 60% sold or transferred to centralized exchanges, suggesting selling. 37% just diamond handed. 312 wallets, 3% did actually increase their holdings a week after the token launch. So yeah, when you got 3 out of 5 people dumping.
Wait, but I'm confused. They're using pre-sale and ICO like interchangeably.
Yes.
And they're not the same thing.
Technically, but you know, this is like Ethereum isn't Ethereum, it's Ether. You know, it's just
it's
a small distinction that most retail doesn't care about, I would say.
Well, I mean, the pre-sale is you're in before the ICO. You're buying it before the token generation event. The ICO is basically the token generation.
Well, I mean, you could say if you're an ICO participant, they open up sales a week beforehand, so therefore it's going to register.
You're in the last round of being a pre-sale, but yeah, okay. I mean, I guess that makes sense. All right.
Yeah. You're like signing SAFs and like get into distinctions that, you know, retail's like, what is this guy even talking about here?
Yeah.
How long until the SEC approves staking for ETH ETFs after the Genius Act passes? Eric, the best source of this question is going to be the Bloomberg Bros, Eric Balchunas and James Seifert, and their predictions. I believe, quote me if I'm wrong, it is going to be October we see staking approved. So, you know, what's BlackRock going to do now? They're going to load their bags before it is approved, everybody. So jump in, get in when the whales are buying, aka BlackRock. Now, I wanted to teach you guys how to fish one more time. This time we're fishing for the Base ecosystem. So Coinbase wallet rebranded to a Base app. Coin stock jumps 56%. It's a little misleading. They're talking about year to date. It's up a little bit. It's up a lot today. And so you remove that year to date. That's where you get like the 56, 57% there. Coinbase is up considerably year to date. Now it's back to 57. I guess it peeled back a little bit this morning. So Coinbase is doing good. Base app, you know, the Base ecosystem's doing good. They just did a little bit of an upgrade. It looks like they're 10 times faster. They went to 200 millisecond finality time, I believe is, here we go. Went from 2 seconds to 200 seconds. So it's optimizing Coinbase, basically the ecosystem here. So Base is the L2 for ETH. It is ran by Coinbase.
The one thing I wanted to mention on that finality time, that change, it seems, you know, you could get glossed over, but what that does is now it settles faster than the New York Stock Exchange, faster than most traditional financial systems.
Yeah. So if you had, you know, I kind of have two ways I look at that. You know, I'm always the contrarian here, and I hate to, you know, kind of piss on people's parade here. Does the Aladdin software, which is like the big trading algo operated by BlackRock, it's like this big hive mind that outtrades everybody, right? That's kind of what it's marketed as. Does the 2 second help Aladdin or hurt Aladdin?
Help.
That's what I feel. I feel like when you shrink that, you remove Aladdin's, I don't know, edge.
No, it adds to the. I mean, every institution out there wants every microsecond they can get, they value because it makes they can make if they can be a little bit faster.
I don't know if this is true or not.
A little bit better.
I heard like what between BlackRock and Citadel doesn't rely on New York Stock Exchange's finality time. They can do 1,000 transactions within that one finality. I don't know.
Yeah,
now I'm like talking about things I'm not sure.
They're all paying for software to go faster. And that's kind of the point I'm making is this is a software that can speed up traditional finance and financial institutions. They're all going to be using their own solutions and stuff. Aladdin does a lot of different things. It also predicts, flows and, spot stuff, but speed matters a lot in finance. And what this is going to allow, especially what they're doing with tokenized stocks and X stocks and being able to trade the stock market, A, 24/7, B, faster than the other places. Speed is everything in finance. The faster you can get there, the more money you can make.
Yeah, Dreamula and Serenus, or was it CeeLo here? Yeah, we made the call. I publicly on the channel, I was buying Coinbase December 23 or was it 22? It was the depths of the bear market. This was an environment, it was like scary to buy any kind of crypto at the time. We did, I should have bought more Bitcoin obviously, but I was buying stock as well. We got in on Hood and we got in on Coinbase December 22.
Look at that.
And yeah, we got in under $40. So yeah, we that's a 12x. Everybody is actually outperformed basically almost everything I have. So yeah, feel good about the Coinbase stock there. But now let's teach you how to fish here, right? Let's get back to what we were talking about. Base is the chain. It's an L2 on ETH. You can't buy a base token. There is no base token. Base token is essentially buy ETH or coin stock. But there are ways to get alpha play or beta plays here. So kind of like a leverage play on the base ecosystem. And for that, I would say you go to CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap, and you can just literally type in base and you go down to categories. Down here at categories, you're going to see base ecosystem. Click on base ecosystem. You're going to see some things like Chainlink. I wouldn't really consider that Aave. I wouldn't consider these so much base plays. But when you start getting into just native base ecosystem plays, then you're going to see Aerodrome Finance. Then you're going to see Morpho. Then you're going to see, I think, Brett. These are going to be the base plays. Our favorite, channel favorite. I don't want to speak for everybody here.
Aerodrome, yeah.
It's Aerodrome, folks. It is Aerodrome. It's only rank 130. We looked at token, shot above $2. Coinbase insiders, they kind of front ran this. And then after, this, which is interesting, this is just the Trump pump, a lot of profit taken. But now if you look at the chart, at least, especially here, we're seeing higher lows, higher highs. This is a very, very bullish setup. Sure, it was better to buy 6 pennies. I don't think a year from now, 6 months from now, you're going to be mad buying under 10 or under $1.
No, I think
I said 6 pennies, 60.
We were looking at potential $10 Aerodrome.
Yeah,
very, within a year. So.
And we got some Aero price prediction videos. You go look that up on YouTube. But that's the show for today. It felt like a great show. I hope you thought it was a great show. Smash that like. Let me know in the comments what you think about the tie. Maybe I'll keep it going. Maybe I'm just going to go power red, though. So don't throw out any suggestions. We're going power red. Just kind of like some of the more powerful people around there. So that's all we got, folks.
We'll see you guys in the Discord.
We just wanted to take a quick second to shout out our sponsor, Arculus. They are a cold storage hardware wallet, helps you secure all of your digital assets for the future. Just tap this thing to the back of your phone and boom, you're in. We wouldn't be able to do this without them, but also wouldn't be able to do this without you guys, the Disco fam. You've supported us a lot over the years. If you want to support the channel now, just use the code DC20. It gets you 20% off this card. It's the #1 way you can support this channel going forward. Thank you for your support. We'll see you at the top.